Just a bloke in a bar.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome to another episode of Bloke in a Bar. Of an extremely, I say extremely special, but I feel like this is special of the special because we have the great one and only Shaun Johnson in here. What's doing, brother?
Nah, not too much, brother. It's actually very good to be in here.
Mate,
Very good to be
It's a good vibe, eh?
It is. Well, I actually messaged in and I was like, bro, hold on. So if I do come on, this means I get to come into the studio and have a look around and check it out because I must say, ladies and gentlemen, it's even better in real life in this joint. So well
Thank
done,
you.
bro.
No chick has ever said that about me. Also, he brought gifts. Purity Plant Protein, one of the most pure proteins on the market, and it's all ethically sourced. How did this come about, bro? Because I'm loving seeing the boys just getting into stuff, you know what I mean?
Yeah, and that's all it really is. It's taking an opportunity, man. I've actually taken plant proteins my whole career. You know, and I know it's probably a little bit against the grain of your usual whey proteins, and you're sort of trying to bang your head against the wall in that sense. But for me, it was about backing something I believed, and this opportunity came along to help create a product where, like you said, it was environmentally friendly and it's all ethically sourced. And then, from an athlete's point of view, the big ticket is that it's batch tested and it's actually micro batch tested as well. Wow. So every individual ingredient that goes into it, it's all tested. So for me, it's a win-win. I take the product, so it's easy for me to talk about, and then obviously doing something outside of footy. I love the idea of that, and like I back you up too, man. I love seeing other players, other athletes get into other things outside of their sport. So yeah, man, that's all it is. It's
I will tell you, like, something that I've noticed, especially since retiring and obviously not being as athletic as I once was, is that when you like eat clean, especially like your proteins, your greens, you feel so much better. It's not even like, obviously it helps to get your gains and all that kind of stuff, but just about feeling good when you wake up.
Yeah.
When I'm on the greens, and these guys used to also have greens in that as well, and high quality protein, I'm always waking up, jumping out of bed, and I feel like when I'm not and I'm just kind of like eating whatever, it's a bit processed, you fucking wake up feeling like shit.
Yeah, 100%. Whatever you put into your body is what you're going to get out. And I'm actually working, fellas, with Denon on getting this as the supplement sponsor for the Bloke FC team.
Mate, It's already there. You actually don't know that. It was already the sponsor.
Okay.
But we've gone above your head, Ruz.
Yeah,
Because we thought, how good you look, there must be a reason. You look like you're 18 years old.
You know what?
That's
I will put it down to Purity Plant Protein.
Mate, absolutely. That's what got you across the line.
You want to look like this? Go out and have it. It's as simple as that.
Mate, it was a hotly contested position, and I honestly think this got you across the line.
I bet, bro. I bet.
But yeah, I love it, bro. I think it's so good that you're getting into stuff, and also like, I like the ethically sourced stuff because we're finding out nowadays like who runs the businesses and like who owns what and what are they doing here. Are they affecting this indigenous area of something like that? You know what I mean? There's so many things that you don't realise. 10 years ago, you wouldn't even know.
Nah. Well, with the way the world's heading, I think this space is getting exposed even more.
Yep.
You know what I mean? So if we can be a clean product, that respects, where we're getting the ingredients from, then, like, I don't ever want to back stuff that I genuinely feel comfortable talking about, right?
Absolutely.
And with Purity Plant Protein, that's all it is for me. I take the product anyway.
Yeah.
So if I can talk about it in a in a respectful manner and in an organic manner, then happy days, easy as.
Organic as fuck.
Yeah, organic as, bro.
I can't wait to, honestly...
Dabble, cuz. Dabble.
I'm already feeling fucking jacked just looking at it, bro. How's the recovery been? It's the Achilles, correct?
Yep, the Achilles. So, busted that up pretty decent last year.
Yeah.
I mean, no one was around me, so it's pretty bad when you go down and no one's around
100%.
you, right?
It's weird, eh? Like, as soon as if someone goes down and it has nothing to do with anyone else, you're like, that's fucking bad.
I look at Luke Carey the other night, man. Like, I looked at that and you cringe. You go, you sink into your seat. You're like, no. You got your fingers crossed. You got everything crossed because you just automatically you think the worst when something like that happens.
100%.
So in my case, it was snapped my Achilles. But for me, I've always been a fairly positive person and tried to have a positive outview on situations in life, and I'm got that at the moment. I'm cruising along pretty good. I've just stuck to my rehabs, listened to the physios and the people in the know, and I'm in a pretty good spot at the moment, man. So
what I've loved, especially since coming to Cronulla, like you had that pretty bad leg break a few years ago.
That's right. I just scored the try.
Hey, still did me job. Sacrificed me leg for the team.
That's right.
But I've loved how you've managed to adjust your game. Similar-ish to Benji. Like, I don't want to, I know you would have got the Benji comparison fucking all your life, but I love how guys like you, that you come onto the scene and you're just unbelievably explosive, but eventually you need to mature into a player that has everything.
Yep.
And you see a lot of halves that they may have a lot of talent, but they don't take that extra step and really work on the parts of their game, because it would be so easy for you to rely on things that come naturally to you.
Yeah, man, it's one of those things, man. If I could be that 35-year-old player that still played the way he did when I was 21, I would.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And there's some players out there that came into the game at 21, 20 years old that were your fundamentally sound players, the ones that could just kick well, didn't really have the step, the speed, the goosey, but
Mate,
but they knew how to
ingredient.
they knew how to get a team around the park. You know what I mean? And they can still do that today because that's just the way that they've played for a long period of time. But for me, you use Benji as an example. Like we're a bit different, you know, and obviously injuries happen throughout your career that maybe limit you wanting to play a certain way. So you do have to adapt. Otherwise, you're out the back door, man. It's pretty simple. So I'm always open to learning, and I like to think of myself as a definite student of the game. You know, I've no way have I clocked how to play this game, or am I the complete player. It's certainly a work in progress, and I'm very proud of myself in the areas that I've been able to grow that necessarily might not make a highlights package. But I know that my teammates respect, and, you know, I'm working with my coaches that they want to see from me. So for me, that's probably more valuable and means a little bit more for sure.
I think it's also like a lot of fans, when they see a young guy like you come in and you kill it, it's exciting. There's always this like undercurrent of like, well, yeah, but he's just really like naturally gifted. He's just, it's just, he doesn't have to work hard. He's just naturally gifted. But I think your last few years has really won a lot of fans over, especially in Australia, because like, you know, New Zealand, when you're in New Zealand, it's very out of sight, out of mind. When you come here, a lot of people, I think, in my opinion, have been like, wow, like he has genuinely worked on his game. And not that you would never not respect the game, but as you said, like a student of the game. It's so easy for players like yourself with so much talent to just keep falling back on that.
I mean, I hope people see that part of my game, because man, there's been times where obviously you go to the other end of the scale and you've copped it. You know what I mean? So you come into first grade, people see the step and the speed, and they go, like you said, oh no, but he's just gifted with that. But then you can't do that every game, and it's like, well, hold on, why is he not doing that every game? You know what I mean? And so you sort of get into those conversations. Oh, he's inconsistent. You know, he's good for a step and a line break once every 2-3 games, and it's like, okay, well, yeah, sweet, whatever. But with the parts of the game that I'm trying to grow in, you know, that the game management, the control, even the confidence I give my teammates, you know, and like that stuff is what balances out, and that's the stuff that keeps you at that level. You know, I look at
100%.
Like I admire players like Adam Reynolds, you know, even like Mitchell Pearce, you know, players that constantly are doing that. You know, like I watch Adam Reynolds play. He's a sound player, bro. Like he won't do anything out of this world that'll, you know, you probably compare my highlights package to his, a lot different.
Very different.
But then you think of us as players, and we've played a similar amount of time in our careers. He's won a comp. I haven't. You know what I mean? Like
absolutely.
He is a benchmark of a halfback in my mind. So there's certainly elements that you look at in other players' games, and you go, man, if I can add that to what I've already got, then I'm going to be there or thereabouts. You
Absolutely,
know what I mean?
bro.
So that's the thought behind it for sure.
It's because I was watching your highlights, and holy fuck, they're great highlights. They should just be on repeat. When you just had a kid, didn't you?
Yeah, I had a kid. Yeah,
just put it on repeat in front of the kid.
One day I'll play it for. I'll be like, look, Daddy used to go all right.
Yeah, all right.
Daddy used
Show
to go
some
all right.
respect.
Yeah, and the only one that probably plays my highlights on repeat at the moment is my dad. So,
so last year, you know, you guys were there or thereabouts. You know what I mean? You'd come out, you'd play well. The next game you would struggle, but I think that I wish you had started this year, because I feel like it seems you've taken such a focus on your defence this year. It seems like Morris has done that, and I feel like with you on the side, it would just give you those points that you need sometimes to like swing the momentum. Yeah,
I think. Sorry, mate. Like with our footy side, I've, you know, obviously I was at the Warriors for a long time, and since coming to Cronulla, been able to mix and mingle with the playing group we've got there. The Wade Grahams, Matty Moylan's, Chad Townsend's, Fafita's. Sorry, bro.
Need some Zyrtec. Need some greens, bro.
I need, I mean, like, mixing and mingling with them, I don't think we'll ever have an issue scoring points. You know, we've got too much, we've got not just talent, but we've got too much understanding on the game. You know what I mean? Like, it is crazy just seeing the knowledge that they have and the way they look at the game. That's been so refreshing for myself. But I'm glad you touched on the defence, because that was definitely a key point of our game that needed to improve. And last week was probably a bit of a slip up in the sense that we had no bench for,
that's what I mean. Like
a lot of the game, but
it took. Like, yes, when you look, if you just watch the score, you'd be like, oh, it wasn't a close game.
Nah.
But if you watch the game,
it was
the 60 minutes, you just hung in there like crazy.
We just fought for everything, right?
Yep.
And then it gets to a point, they bring on fresh middles, and it's like, okay,
what are you going to do?
What are you going to do?
Yeah.
So, but you're right. Like, it has been a real focal point. Here, Josh Henne's come down from North Queensland, and he's really added something in that sense. So, I love seeing the boys go to work, in that aspect of the game, because it's like that gets me really excited to come back. Not the attack part, gets me excited to be a part of that defensive line and feel what they're feeling when they're turning away sides. So, yeah, man, all in good time, but certainly can't wait.
I got huge raps on Morris. Like, I think what he's managed to do with you had minus about whatever 700k or 300k of your cap.
Yeah,
you lost your strike center last year, and unluckily had to get rid. Like, you got rid of Josh Morris. Like, the timing of that, it's like the footy guys were like staring down at you going like, we're just going to throw you a fucking curveball at the start of the year.
Yeah.
I think what you guys have done, you look at it, again, you look at the Broncos side, like look how quickly things can get out of control if they're not managed correctly.
That's right, man. And I guess Bombers, people's opinion on Bomber is very mixed, and I've heard both sides of it. I've been in a position where I've heard both sides, but from where I'm standing, like, it blows my mind that you've got coaches out there that have started the season poorly, but are backed by a club and have been re-signed for 3-4 years, whatever.
It's insane.
And I'm like, man, far out. And then you've got a coach sitting here who's taken who had to take over from the Flanagan stuff, go through all that, manage a cap. He hasn't signed. We got Tolman over. That was this year. He hasn't signed anyone else in his time. You know what I mean? Like, he hasn't been able to.
Yeah, absolutely.
So he's had to manage the current crop and just take us to the finals. You know what I mean? Like, it's pretty simple.
I can't believe it. Honestly, like, I just think that he's not appreciated. Like, I don't know why. Just a 2-year contract. Like, you know what I mean?
And you know what it does? That gives. It's like when you re-sign a player. What that does for the player's confidence, knowing that you've got an organisation that backs you.
Yep.
It's exactly the same for the coach.
100%.
You've got an organisation that wants to show faith in you and say, yeah, hold on, mate, you've done a somewhat terrific job the last couple of years. We're going to back you.
Yeah.
And then you've just got that weight off your shoulders and you're going, okay, like, this is my team now.
Like,
let's
build,
do it.
sign, everything.
Let me mould it to how I want it.
Yep. Who can he sign right now? Because he doesn't even know whether...
He doesn't know if he's got the cash. He doesn't know who. And to be fair, we've got something stupid like 15 players off contract at the end of this year.
Wow.
And a lot of us don't even know where we're going to be next year. So it's all up in the air at the moment, man.
Wow. And that's the dangerous thing, because, again, you look at the Broncos, look how quickly it just got out of hand.
And can I just add, for a player wanting to sign for the club, you want to know what coach you're signing under too.
100%. Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
In the halves as well. Like, it's fuck.
It's a crazy. It is just a genuinely crazy time. But I have this conversation with like close friends and Kayla, and I say, like, for me personally, being off contract this year, it's a really, like, usually it would sort of spook me a bit. I'd be like, oh man, like, where am I going to go?
Get that anxiety.
Yeah.
Like,
but for me, like, I'm genuinely excited to see where I'm sitting at this time next year. Like, it's too. It's like, bro, like, what's going to happen? Like, 100%. Where are you going to be? You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Like, and you just don't know these days. Yeah, it's so true.
All I know is that I'm going to come back.
Yep.
I'm going to play some good footy.
Heaps of goosies.
Goosey's on, bro. Goosey's on, and then we'll see. We'll let the rest take care of itself.
100%. Mate, you hit the quota of 5 gooses a game, guaranteed big contract next time. That's just my opinion.
So if I don't know, my first game back, if you see me just literally goosing when no one's even around me, you'll know SJ's on.
SJ's absolutely on.
That's it.
We're going to the ship, baby. So take us back to a young fella. Obviously, you grew up, you played Auckland rugby in the rugby competition.
Well,
Yes
dabbled.
Dabbled.
Like, I wouldn't even really, let's not even mention that, man, because that was such a small patch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was
So
like,
the wiki stung you there.
it was like I played just because my mates played.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep.
And I mean, what kid growing up in New Zealand hasn't played a little bit of rugby?
Well, that's what was really interesting with you, because like I'd assume, because you touch highlights, everything like that. I'd assume Union would have been constantly, at least, seeing if you're interested in Union.
There was a few conversations early, but nothing to the point of like, okay, this is a genuine option, because I was probably a little bit different right from the outset. That my dream, and you're probably going to think I'm lying when I say this, but my dream was never actually to play for the All Blacks.
Oh, really?
So a lot of kids grow up in New Zealand. It's like the All Blacks, and I love the All Blacks. I've got mates that play in there, and I love their brand. I love what they do for New Zealand, and I'll watch every game. I'm a fan of watching them. But my dream was to play for the Warriors.
Wow.
And my dream was to play for the Kiwis.
Wow.
So
how was that?
I remember I went to a game. Tommy Lulawai debuted for the Kiwis. He was like 17 or something, really stupid. It was at North Harbour Stadium, so it's just down the road from where I grew up. And it was like, I remember that so clear. And ever since that point, I was like, this is where I want to be, man. Like, this is who I want to play for.
So unique.
Yeah, and it is. And but probably before that, it was definitely the Warriors. I remember Sean Hoppy, Stacey Jones, Henry Farfeli. Like, these boys, I could go on, man. I could go on. You think the Prime Warriors 2002 Warriors, I'm a 12-year-old, 11-year-old kid, and that's frothing. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh, my Lord. Like, that's what I want to be doing. So, yeah, like, that's why I never really like to mention the rugby side, because I think they get enough spotlight on their own.
Yeah, absolutely.
And for me, it's about putting a spotlight on rugby league in New Zealand.
Yeah.
And letting like kids know back there that, hey, you don't have to dream to play for the All Blacks. You know what I mean? Like, look at the Warriors. Like, they've got an awesome brand.
100%.
You know, look at the Kiwis. Their brand's continually growing. And I think even the space of the Kiwis brand, we're molding that into a cool brand. You know what I mean? So, yeah, man, there's that was where I sat with it all.
Yeah, it's so interesting to hear, because the general narrative is, if you're a young Kiwi lad, it must be the All Blacks. And it's so refreshing to hear that, it's fucking Warriors.
Yeah.
What's interesting too, when I went there and was the worst signing in the club's history,
I
wasn't that bad. I wasn't actually that bad.
What year were you there? It was like
2008.
8, 9?
No, sorry, 9.
9, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So I remember you, bro.
Yeah, I remember you too.
I was a young fella, and I was training. I think my first full pre-season was 2010. All right, so you might, but I remember being, like the 20s and that.
I remember watching you train.
Yeah, and that's it. Like, so, like, it's funny that we're even sitting here now, and the way you've gone in the business and the way my career's kicked on, and I'm even
like your career. This is what happened. This is me. This is you.
No. Here's what happened. Okay? I like to think I was like, you did, but now you've just gone goose, right?
Oh, fuck.
So it is. It's like, I love looking back on things like that and be like, man, like, when you reached out, hey, can I get you on the show?
Yeah.
And it was like, yeah, bro, for sure. Because it's like, I remember a point in time where I looked up and it was like, you were where I wanted to be. You know what I mean? And it's like, yeah.
It's weird, because I remember, the backfield where the Vulcans play?
Yeah.
I remember we're all...
See, that's when you're showing your age, bro. The Vulcans, that's old school.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
I'm old school Warriors, bro. Old boy Warriors.
Yeah.
But I remember we were sitting there with the first grade side, and you would have done it too. When you see the under-20s training, but you don't really mingle that much. I don't know if it's changed now, but back then you didn't really mingle that much. But we were all sitting there, and all the senior boys and everyone going, bro, look, this Shaun Johnson kid is fucking... 100%. They're like, he's the next big thing. And I was like, fucking hell, that's... And we watched you train in that.
Oh, far out.
Yeah, so we were all sitting there talking about you in the first grade side.
Oh, that's buzzy.
Yeah. You were the only kid we were talking about too, and everyone was kind of like, mate, he's done touch and fucking lose football.
It's buzzy because we have these conversations about young fellas coming through now.
100%. So you were that young fella.
Oh, far out.
It's crazy. It's bizarre how it all works. 100%. And you're also right about, like, in Auckland especially. When I come to the club in 2008, they went really well. And our next year's trial match, we basically sold out. I think it was the North Shore Stadium.
Yeah.
And then the Blues played someone else in the Super Rugby, and they got like 4,000 or 5,000. Yeah. So it's very misleading, especially Aussies. They don't understand that. Yes, obviously the All Blacks are incredible. Much respect to them. I'm the same as you. Like, I think as an organisation, incredible. But it's not. Especially in Auckland, league is big in Auckland,
massive, like, and it's real cult-like too. So, like you said, you do well, they come in forces, right? And to be fair, like, even bro, we did bad for years on years, right?
Yep.
But we were still pulling in 10,000 people to a game.
Absolutely, man, that's smart. You
know what I mean? So, like, and that's definitely a reflection thing when you go, man, you appreciate that, because. Like, even some of our Sharks games, I know it's trying times at the moment with what's going on, but even my first year here, like, I'm pretty sure we didn't even have that, and we were going all right.
Yeah.
And it's like, obviously you got a whole country there. But yeah, it is crazy to think that league can have a footprint there. I think so. In that climate of rugby dominance. So.
Absolutely, I think especially if the Warriors can build something special now.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Warriors fans are my favourite fans because I'm not playing. They're ruthless when you're playing. Yeah. Holy shit. Trust me, I fucking know. Yeah. I mean, actually, you know what? Trust me, you fucking know. I fucking know, bro. I'm still got PTSD from everyone saying how shit of a signing I was, but you have to go through the worst of it. But what I can say is, they're so funny because they'll take the piss out of themselves. Yep. Like as a group, they're just and like the common thing, like a gun will come through from another club. They'll be like, sign Warriors, bro. You'll always see the comment under a gun coming there, bro, sign Warriors, bro. Yeah, yeah. So I do love the Warriors fans. They are enjoyable when you're playing well. But yeah, anyway, so young lad growing up, it was clearly always rugby league, but was touch footy like the priority or not really?
Nah, so, and this is, again, like I've had to square this off a fair bit, because it is a bit of a perception because they've seen the touch footy highlights. It's like, oh, that's what he was. He was a touch player. Yeah, okay. And fair, I'm all good with that, man. Like touch has been
not bad highlights.
Yeah, touch has been unbelievable for my career. Yep. But touch was a summer sport. Okay. So you finish your league season and you play touch for the summer, and then you go back into your league season for the winter. So they were both hand in hand. So I played league since I was 4 years old. I was East Coast Raiders, right up. All age groups right up until I was under 16s or 17s, and then we started going playing for different teams. But touch was the same. I started playing touch probably a little bit later, but I definitely enjoyed touch more purely because I was just so small. Okay. Bro, you go South Auckland, you play some of those kids.
Oh my God.
Open age, bro. And it was like, that's not fair. Like, there's no way you were under nines, my bro.
I want to see the birth certificate,
you know what I mean? And these kids were like freaks. They would like... They weren't just big, they were fast, and here I am, this little scrawny Asian, and I'm like, come on, bro, like, help me out here, you know what I mean? So my way to get back was, all right, let's get on the touch field. Yeah. And I'll try to pick on you.
I'll give you a bit of the business, baby.
Yeah, baby, like, see if you can keep up with this.
Fucking oath.
Yeah, so that's where it sort of unfolded. Like, I loved league, but for a period there, it probably wasn't that enjoyable because we were just getting dosed around by, these kids that didn't seem to be on the same, like, playing field. Yep. But then you get touch, and it was obviously in the summer, and you're playing with your mates. I loved it, man. Loved it.
You don't have to walk off the field with feeling like, oh my God, I feel like I just got bashed. Yeah. Touch footy, you can play,
and I just touched them. Yeah. So back in the day, it was like I was probably playing touch on the league field.
That's okay. So it was more for fun, really. There was never like a dedicated I'm going to go down this route kind of thing.
Nah, well, there wasn't a career.
Yeah,
there wasn't a profession in it. If touch was a professional sport, wow.
How good would it be?
Oh, unbelievable.
Don't get bashed. Don't get knocked out all the time.
And the skill, like I'll watch some touch highlights now of what the game looks like now. And the stuff they're doing, it's like people should be paying to see that. You know what I mean? Like I look at it and it's like, bro, this is freakish what we're seeing right now. So I'm a massive advocate of a sport that you could turn it into somewhat semi-professional. It would definitely be touch because who knows? I might have taken that path over league. I don't know. Yeah, okay. You know what I mean?
Because there's no avenue when you were going up, so it's kind of like it's not even an option.
And like I said, it was the Wars, bro. It was the Wars. So if the Warriors had a touch team, you know what I mean? They would have been
the Warriors touch team.
Yeah.
Okay, so at what point then? You obviously what nationality? What Asian nationality?
So my mum, I'm half Asian. Yeah. So my mum is from a country called Laos.
Laos. Okay. Yeah.
Runs next to Thailand.
Okay.
So, full Lao, and then my dad's just Kiwi, Pākehā Kiwi, so English parents. But
you get confused from Māori a lot?
Oh, still. That's why I say, kia ora, bro, I'm Ngāti Lao. You know, like I try. I'm very proud of my mum's culture. Yeah, and it's sad I don't know. I grew up with my dad, so my dad raised us boys, but I'm very proud whenever I talk about my mum's culture, and I probably wasn't that way early on, but certainly having been back to Laos with my family, getting that knowledge and experiencing it all. Anytime I talk about it now, it's like, yeah, but I'm half Lao. You know what I mean? Like, and I'm very proud to be half Lao. And I know that there is a Lao community out there that likes to resonate with me because I'm half Lao.
Absolutely.
So for me, that's sick. Like, I love that. So, yeah, man, half Asian, half Kiwi.
Bro, I'm about to blow your mind.
What's going on? Here we go.
My granddad is Chinese. Swear to God.
What, full Chinese?
Like, as in... He looks Chinese, he is Chinese. I think he's half Chinese and half some other, whatever he was. But we didn't grow up with him. But my real granddad is Chinese.
Wow.
And that's crazy. It's crazy.
Oh, so is that your mum or your old man?
That's my mum.
Yeah, so your mum's got a
which is why, like, I know I look like a wog, but I think it's why, like...
So wait, what national are you then?
Aussie and the closest to any ethnicity outside of Aussie is Chinese Asian.
What?
I know, it's bizarre. Trust me. And it's weird because so my mum's sister is blonde hair, blue eyes. She looks like pretty much me with a wig on.
Yeah.
And then so my brother looks also like woggish, and my sisters are blonde hair, green eyes, blonde hair, blue eyes. So it's just like the mix is just like fully.
Yeah.
What's funny though is my missus now, she's full Filipino.
Yeah.
And when I met, that's the way I got in. I was like, I'm Chinese.
I'm pretty
like,
much the same, baby.
You know what I
mean?
mean? What's going on?
Hey, you don't like Aussies? You like Asians?
100%. I'm
Hey.
cultured, baby. But yeah, so there's a little bit of a. No one believes me, as you wouldn't. Like, look
Nah,
at me.
you don't. Yeah, I
Do
mean,
not look Chinese. Okay, so you said that there was a few years there where you're enjoying touch more than footy. At what point did you start going like, because in under 20s you went really well, but those years before it, when did you start getting noticed from the Warriors and stuff like that?
well, so it's funny. I got noticed from the Warriors through playing touch.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Fucking hell.
So I was playing league, and I probably wasn't making a bigger impact in league as I was in touch. And it was funny because I had that odd year off where I'd play rugby with my mates for school, and good year. We actually won the comp. It was actually like heaps of fun. But once you sort of fall out of the circle, I found in Auckland with league. So I remember I played Auckland under 13s. I got dropped from that team. The next Auckland team I made was Auckland under 18s.
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, okay.
you sort of had to claw your way back in. And then even in Auckland under 18s, like that was still at school. It was my last year of school. I played touch for the school, and our school. And this is a period I like to reflect on, because without this period, I don't know. Who knows? I don't actually know if I'm here today, with what I've got behind me. So 2007, 2008, Oru College had never made touch nationals, secondary school touch nationals. Touch is massive in New Zealand, and secondary schools is the biggest comp. We made it in 07, and it was a massive buzz. It was like, how did they make it, right?
Okay.
And we were just a bunch of little white boys from the North Shore, from Whangaproa, and we would just go out there. We were smaller than everyone else. You know, we didn't have the mean boots, the flashy hair. We'd rock out on the field and be half intimidated because like they'd have like different color boots and have the hats on, and we'd be, oh man, we're up against it now. Oh,
look at the
you know what I
part.
mean? We're with the big boys now.
Yep.
But then, so we ended up finishing 9th that year.
Yeah.
Okay, and we created a bit of a name of ourselves. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was like, okay, people sort of knew who
Like
our
the little
college
battlers
was.
kind of thing.
Yeah, like they gone all right.
Yeah.
It wasn't till 08. So we qualified for nationals again. And Rotorua boys, they won the comp in 07. We had them first up in 08.
Shit.
Okay.
Oh, wow.
We beat them 11-3.
Wow.
Okay. And then literally over the 2-3 days the tournament was, whatever it was, 2 days, we had like a following gathering us to each game. And then we ended up having a crowd around our touch games.
No way.
So people just started to be like, look at these guys.
Yeah,
bro.
the
Like, they
underdogs.
pumped the Rotorua. And then we played Hato Polder, which was their hometown tournament.
Yeah.
And they're a good touch team.
Yeah.
Like really good touch team. And we pumped them. And we had like I remember it, bro. I was like, bro, look at around us, boys. Like, look what we're doing.
Yeah.
And so we actually made it to the final.
Yeah.
And we lost in the final. Still filthy.
Still
Hurts. But hey, it is what it is. We lost in the final. But without that block, those highlights that people associate me with wouldn't have been.
exist. Wow.
So that's all from that tournament.
No way.
We put that highlight package together to send to a family friend who was in Australia up at Burleigh.
Yeah.
And I was gonna come over and like just try play league on the Gold Coast, play for Burleigh Bears.
No way.
Yeah, that was gonna be the path. But
No way. We could have had you.
Nah, but then he sent it back to, I think it was Sponge. He had a connect, Tony Ira. He had a line in there.
Yeah.
And sent it to the Warriors, and I got a call from, who was it?
So it was a highlight package.
It was a highlight package that got my foot in the door.
Wow.
And then it was an invite to come in and train with development. Bro, I'll never forget this, bro. Okay. Really, you captured this shit. Nah, I got a phone call from the Warriors, and I remember sitting on my bed. I was like, hello, and da-da-da-da from the Warriors. And I said, pardon? Like, I remember being like, wait, whoa. From where? Yeah, from the Warriors, mate. Hey, we just love for you to come in and start training with our development side. I said, I was on my bed downstairs. I said, yeah, all right, sweet. Like, yeah, thanks for the call, mate. Boom, hung up. And I remember I just fucking legged it, bro. I legged it upstairs going, Dad, like just screaming, Dad, the Warriors just fucking called me. Like they invited me in, like, I'm going in.
Yep.
And then sure enough, he comes over with me and I'm pulling up to the Warriors, man. I'm like, what the hell?
Because like you're not in the system at all.
Not in the system at all. At all.
Yeah.
Right, and I walk in and I see like the Warriors and I'm seeing like the gym and I'm going, holy heck, bro, this is mind blowing.
Mount Smart, that big gym you got, the upper office.
I'm getting a tight chest even thinking about it now. Like it is such a fond memory because anytime you get over it or you're copping heat or whatever, you resort back to shit like that. You know what I mean? 100%. You go, bro, like you're playing a game that you just loved. It's as simple as that. So that's how I got my foot in the door, and that is how I started with the Warriors. Really,
that's crazy because like you weren't even in the system. Like it's not like you're in there like playing really good locally, and they were like watching you scouting.
So after I got my foot in the door, they sent Laurie Hale, who's the man at the Warriors. Everyone loves Big Loz, so they sent Laurie Hale out to keep tabs on me. He came to a few of my, I think it was like under 17s or whatever it was, you know, like 18s or something, 16, somewhere around that.
Yeah.
He came out to a few of my games, and he would he'd have it. I remember he had his Warriors stuff on. Like it was like a Warriors scout.
Everyone's
was at
like,
a game. And he'd
100%.
come up to me at half time and sort of talk to me about a few things.
Yep.
I remember him talking like I needed to work on like my pass left to right. Like I vividly remember that. And it wasn't until a few years down the track we're in the Warriors and I'm sharing me and Loz are talking. I'm sharing the story. He goes, mate, you know that was me that come out.
Oh, you didn't
And I'm
remember.
like, what? And I thought it was someone else.
Yeah.
Well, the whole time I thought it was someone else going, like, what? And then once he said it, it was like, it clicked for me. I was like, bro, it was you. So
it's like when you're younger, you're so like dazzled by the Warriors kit.
It is, bro. You don't see the face.
Yeah, you don't.
See
You
the
really
kit.
don't. Yeah. 100%.
And then, so that was how, bro, I got my foot in the door and how it just flowed from there, man.
Oh, I'm happy for you. I'm also devastated. I wish they never sent those highlights to the Warriors, brought you over to the Gold Coast, come to the Broncos, Premiership season,
Bronx,
baby. Oh,
well,
my
Bronx
God.
was actually my, I think it's probably every Kiwi's second favourite.
We do have a big following.
You know what I mean? It was like the Broncos, Brisbane Broncos, So that was always my other favourite.
Do you imagine you in a Broncos jersey? I mean, we do need a half. Just saying. Just saying. We got some. Hey, Kevy, speak to me. Don't speak to me, but speak to me. You know what I'm saying? Wow, that's incredible. It's just to think like that one decision from that person to send the highlights to the Warriors and then to actually watch it. Yeah. You know what I mean? Because it's like...
it could just come through and be like, throw it on the pile of all the other videos we've been sent through.
All the other next big things that everyone reckons is the next big thing.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, so then at what point did they go, we want you to be with our under-20s?
Oh man, that's a bit of a blur. I remember it's just sort of like a progression. So I was training development, and I remember because 2008, I think I went into development in 2008. Like it was literally after that touch tournament. So it was like the end of 2008. No, it's like midway because I went in and I was training development. And we'd run some stuff against the under 20s, and then that bit happened fairly quick. I'm pretty sure. I mean,
because you were in the 20s the next year, so you would have had to do pre-season with them.
Yeah. So it happened all fairly quickly. Like I might have even been in there after my first year of the touch tournament, you know. So maybe 07 I got the invite to come in and whatnot. But yeah, that stuff happened fairly quick. And I remember even it was just a buzz even being in the under 20s. You sort of felt like, hold on, I'm semi-professional here.
100%,
you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
I've somewhat made it right now. Like, I've got a full bag of gear.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going in and I'm traveling. I remember I was 18th man in 08 a couple of times.
Yeah.
I'm traveling. Hold on, I'm going to Newcastle with these boys. I'm traveling and staying in these mad hotels, and I'm thinking, out, bro. Like, mate, I'll go back to school on Monday.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
Insane. That's
so
insane.
It is. It's really cool to actually reflect on, and I rarely do it. It's only times like this that you have these conversations.
Absolutely.
So
you're not sitting there going down memory lane every day.
I'm not at home going, I remember then.
100%. Your missus will be like, man, shut up.
Shut up. I've heard the story too many times
now. What's really interesting is like, you know, from our perspective, even when you're in the 20s, you were seen as this like the next big thing, and yet you were still only 12 months removed from like barely really like you were playing rugby league, but not at a serious level. No. Yeah, that's crazy. So I mean,
that's probably the bit that gets me the most is I played like one under 20s game, and then all of a sudden it was Joey Johns come out and said some stuff. And then all of a sudden it was like, okay.
Well, he said it's he said I haven't been this excited about a player in a long time, referring to Stacey Jones.
Yeah.
Fucking crazy comparison.
Yeah, and I remember that come out, and at the time I was like, fuck, that's pretty bad. Like,
Yeah, 100%.
Hold on. Joey Johnson knows my name. One, you know, and then two, he said that stuff. And then all of a sudden, attention started to come, and I got a bit lost in it for a bit there. I probably didn't kick on as I should have from that first game.
Okay.
Inconsistent. I was up and down, up and down. I was training full-time, back playing 20s. It was just a real... Probably wasn't until 2010 I got a grip of it. So, you know, a full season went by, and yeah, like I had highlights out of that year, and that still kept people talking. But I wasn't playing consistently good footy.
Wasn't a professional footy player yet, really?
No way.
Yep.
No way, man. And it wasn't until probably 2010 where started to get a grip of things, and even 2011 was still getting a grip of things, but we won the comp in 2010 with under 20s.
Yeah, I was going to say, your last game, you won the grand final.
Won the grand final.
You beat the Broncos a week before or something? Didn't you have a close, or was it Raiders?
We beat, Souths.
Souths, okay.
Yeah, or Adam Reynolds in that. We played them.
Oh, really?
We beat
Okay.
them. Yeah. So they were the team that we were always like, if we're going to win the comp, we've got to beat them. So once we beat, no. Sorry, that was in the GF. We beat, who did we play in the GF? Might have been Souths who played in the GF. Yeah, and it was maybe the Bulldogs a week before that we played in the semi, and they were Marty Tapau. They were stacked.
Okay.
So, but anyway, that was that story. But I wasn't a consistent, knew how to play the game yet. You know, I was doing flashy stuff here and there, but it wasn't all pulled together.
And so you make your debut round 13, 2011. Your debut.
2011.
Against the Roosters. How's that come about?
Fizzed.
Yeah.
So I was 18th man a few times for first grade, and sort of kept around the group a bit more, which was cool. I was training full time, so we were just going out for a regular training run. I knew Brett Seymour had busted his thumb, I think it was. Busted his thumb, and I mean, like Isaac, John, and that were there. You know, we had other halves around as well.
That's Ice from YKTR for people that the rules. That's,
So Ice was around, and he was a gun. I don't know if people realise.
Yeah, he was a good.
He was a really good halfback, and he 100%. Was actually. I looked up to Ice when he was in the 20s.
Yeah,
and like I would watch him and be like, yeah, man, like he
had a bunch of skill, man,
and he was solid. He was a solid half, you know. So he was there. We had a few others, but I remember we were just on the way out, just a routine training run. I think it was early in the week, and Ive just pulled me aside, and he goes, "Mate, how would you feel about playing first grade this week?" And I couldn't control it. You know? I said,
100%.
Probably a bit lost for words. And I said, "Mate, I'd love it." Like,
yeah.
Anyways, all right, we'll get out and train with the boys, and you're in this week. And he'd obviously had that chat with a few of the senior boys.
Yeah, okay.
And I didn't pick up on that.
So
I've run out trying to play it cool. I'm running out, going, yeah, right, sweet. Let's get on with it. And a few of the boys, like Michael Luck and that, are looking around, and they go, "Oh, yes, Shay," or whatever they go. "Oh, Jackson." Michael Luck used to call me Jackson. He goes, "Oh, you know you can smile." And I was like, then I just let it all out. I was like, "Yeah, boy, all right, sweet. Yeah, I'm playing first grade, baby. Like, this is unreal." So,
Michael Luck, he's such a... he has such impact on people's lives, and I don't think, like, obviously he was well respected and everything like that. Like, I'm not saying he's not, but he's one of those players that I think flies under the radar of how much if you played with him, you remembered him.
It's funny. You talk to a lot of players that played with him. They talk about him.
100%.
You know, yet he doesn't.
The one person you mentioned was Michael Luck.
That's right. So it's he had a massive, I guess, imprint on how just. He's just such a fond memory of when I come into first grade.
Yeah,
you know
absolutely.
What I mean? Like getting to play with Michael Luck, and the rest of them too. But I remember, like stuff like for my 21st birthday, and I'd never ever again take fashion advice off Michael Luck.
100%.
So like if you come across this, bruv, this is the one time I'll share the story. It was my 21st birthday, and he goes, I had some jeans on. He goes, "Mate, what are those?" You know, like your classic older boy. He goes,
typical footy older boy. That's a senior player.
He goes, "Mate, what are you wearing?" I think I had some ripped jeans or something like that, you know. He goes, "Mate, come with me. I'm going to buy you a pair of jeans." He took me to G-Star.
Oh.
G-Star.
Yuck.
And you know what? I was that influenced by him. I rocked him, and then I go back around my mates back home, and they go, "Bro, what the fuck are you wearing?" And I'm thinking, "Bro, these are sick.
These are mad."
You know
Michael
Luck took me to get this. So.
Bro, yeah, he's definitely not the guy for fashion.
Nah.
He's a deep thinker, very smart and intelligent man.
You live and
Fuck, that's hilarious.
Yeah.
So what do you remember from your debut?
I remember having to snap out of being a fan and realise that you're now playing.
100%.
I remember, bro, I was marking Todd Carney. Like, I was like, bro, Todd Carney.
Yeah.
He was a Dalian player like this year or the year before, you know what I mean? Like, I love watching this guy. So that was, for me, that was a real, like, bro, snap out of it. You're not a fan anymore. You're playing. And just that aura, like that, hold on, you belong here. You know, like, you're not here to make you belong here. Yeah. And, I mean, it was a wet night. It was a pretty shit night to play your debut. You know, like, the way I play the game, it was wet, shit. And we lost. It was a close game. I think we lost, like, something close, like 10-8 or something. Yeah. It was a try in it or something. But had a couple of nice touches, nothing crazy. But, got through the game and just relieved probably more than anything.
Yeah,
like,
100%.
Man, far out. There's my first grade game, and
I don't want to leave now. I don't want to leave.
That's it. Like, this is what I dreamt of, and this is what I'm doing. So
was that the year you first played the Nines, 2011? When was the first Nines you ever played?
Was only Nines was 14, I think, 13 a few years later.
Because that was mental. Anyway, we'll get to that. Okay, so 2011. That's when you make the finals.
Yeah. So that was GF year.
Yeah. Okay.
So that was ridiculous in itself.
So you basically, you got a start and then you stayed in the side for the rest of the year?
Nah. So I was in and out for a bit.
Yep.
So Buster was, when Buster was healthy, he come back in.
It's Brett Seymour.
Brett Seymour, yeah. Yep. Brett Seymour come back in, and then I think he actually busted himself again. So I got put straight back in, and that second time I got put back in.
Yep.
I think I played like 3 games. Buster came back, and then for 1 game, and then I think he was out again, and that's when I sort of kept my spot. I'm pretty sure it was something like that anyway.
Okay. And so I'm assuming in round 22 against the Brisbane Broncos, that's, I guess, was that your first like viral footy moment in the sense that because you scored a 70-metre try?
Yeah, was that round 22, was it?
Yeah. And that's when like people were just going, fuck me, like this was incredible.
I mean, I think there was a few tries. That wasn't my first try in first grade.
No, it was against the Tigers' first try in first grade.
Yeah, so I mean, and that was cool because that was at home.
Okay, yeah,
smart. Talk about a tale of two days, bro. So I scored my first NRL try round 2.
Yeah.
Go and try.
Yeah.
I can Goosey. There's actually a Goosey in there. Goosey.
Okay.
But I was flying. We're playing Benji and the Tigers, and we're flying. First time I played Benji, and I'm like, man, scored a try. We're beating them by 20 odd. Yeah. At Mount Smart, crowd's going wild. How good. Get to half time. That's the worst thing that could have happened to us.
Yep.
Benji comes back, puts on a clinic. Him and Gareth Ellis just tear me a new one.
Yep.
I get hooked from the field.
No way.
So I've gone like every emotion you possibly can in a first grade game. And that was all she wrote for that night. So that was my first try.
Yeah.
And then there's a few others along the way. But yeah, probably that Broncos game, just because the scale, you're at Suncorp, you're playing against the Bronx.
And it was an incredible try. Like, and it's just like...
Yeah, that probably what really got people going. And in some ways, yeah, it was good. But then, like I mentioned earlier, bro, like once you do it, people expect to see it every week.
I know, yeah.
And it's like, bro, like, show me another player that's doing that every single week.
Like that. End bit there.
This bit here?
Yeah, but you can turn it. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, sweet. Like, is the sound been all right? Yeah, it sounds good. Yep, sweet.
Yeah,
okay,
like you, and so that's what I'm saying. Like, you tell me another player that's been able to do that every week. You know what I mean?
It's like the double-edged sword of like, you want to score those tries, obviously.
But then...
Yeah, if you don't score another try like that for 5 weeks, it's like, oh, he's fucking not doing anything right. It's like, bro, you know how hard that shit is to do?
Yeah, don't get me wrong, man. If this 30-year-old boy can get back on the field and pull off something special...
Oh, mate, 100%.
He'll get the crowds back.
100%. Okay, so that first year, what was it? So when Benji comes back on and kills it in the Tigers... Was that a moment for you where did you realise anything in that moment, in the sense of like, okay, wow, like you've got to go 80 minutes here, you can't just...
Yeah, I mean, like a lot of things flood through your mind, you know what I mean? Like, again, like it was my second game, I'm still...
So
everything's
young.
new.
Yeah,
everything's 100%. New to you, you know what I mean? So it's like, yeah, you're taken on board. I mean, and I'm a real competitive bastard, bro. Like, I hate losing, let alone hate being hooked and making feel like you're the reason.
100%.
Losing, right? So that was enough to deal with in itself. But then I think how it sort of followed after, I remember Ive was real good about it, spoke to me and sort of, like the coaches around me helped me. It wasn't just like, hold on, SJ, you're hooked.
Yep.
You're done. It was like, learn from it. This is a lesson. And then, you're better for the experience. So, I mean, all of it, bro. You can't play 40 minutes of footy and expect to win a game.
No
but,
way.
it's all part of it.
Okay, so you go You get to the prelim finals against the great Melbourne Storm, and you set up the try in the 76th minute for Louis Brown to win the game against the Storm, pretty much 20-12, which puts you into grand final.
Yep.
What's that moment like?
Yeah. A surreal moment probably, and even the fact that we can look back on it this far ahead, and it's like still so surreal.
You're like the Melbourne Storm, like
they were peak, bro.
Yeah.
They were prime then
They
too.
were.
So it was
maybe a little bit too primed, if you ask me. Just saying.
Okay. But no, it was a very cool moment to be a part of, and the boys, yeah, man, they were just full credit to the boys.
Full credit.
You know
Absolutely.
what I mean? It was an unreal night, unreal time to be involved with rugby league in New Zealand because, like we mentioned, bro, like once they come, they come, and that just really got everyone on board and was like, wow, okay.
Yep.
And again, though, double-edged sword because here I am, 15 games into my career, and I'm thinking, how good's rugby league?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, how good is this? This is what rugby league is.
Yeah.
Sure enough, over the next few years, I realised that it wasn't the case.
Yeah, it wasn't that easy. So the grand final, you played a great, a really good grand final, but you unfortunately lost it. What do you remember from that grand final?
I remember running out and the flames. They go,
Yeah.
the flames, and I remember just getting the goosebumps, bro. And I looked around, and I remember looking up to that stadium, and I was looking. My eyes couldn't even see that far. You know what I mean? I was like, there's so many people here.
Yeah.
And there was heaps of Kiwis. It was going crazy. And then I actually almost started crying.
Yeah.
I saw my dad, like my family in the stands.
Absolutely.
And I was like, man, look at what I'm doing right now. Like, this is unbelievable because people don't know. People don't realise that 2011 year, I was coming back from a slip disc in my lower back. So I missed a lot of the preseason.
Yep.
My first game back that year was for the Hibiscus Coast Raiders, my junior club.
What? Local league?
Locally. So I was a full-time first grader, full-time trainer.
And they put you back in the local league?
I said, look, my first game back, like, how would you feel about me just going playing some park footy and getting...
Yeah.
And they were all for it. I was too old for the 20, so I couldn't do that.
Yeah.
The Vulcans at the time must have been going all right, or, they had halves and,
It's not as easy to get... Just because you're in that first grade squad doesn't mean you're guaranteed
a reserve grade spot.
Yeah,
No, it's not. So I went back and I played 5'8" for the Hibiscus Coast Raiders. My brother was the halfback. And then 6 months later, I'm playing in an NRL grand final.
And you set up the try to get into that grand final.
So I'm like thinking, man, like, what is going on right now?
Wow, because you just picture it. Like, you picture yourself running onto the field, local league, no one's watching.
Nah.
Shitty field. Did you win that game?
Yeah, we won. But SJ put on a clinic.
I fucking hope so. I fucking hope so.
I went back there and just got dusted around.
Yeah, just got used. You wouldn't be playing in a grand final, that's for sure.
Bro.
That's fucking crazy, bro.
Yeah,
all
so
the way to a grand final.
That was the journey that year, and it was just everything hit you in that moment, and then obviously disappointing we lost the grand final. But if I'm being completely honest, I would be far more disappointed if I played in one now and lost one, because at the time I didn't appreciate how hard it was to do what we were doing.
Yeah,
that was just rugby league at that.
Yep.
It was like 15 games in. I'm a rookie. We're playing in a grand final. This is what it's about.
100%.
You know what I mean? And since that time, with everything that's gone on in my career and the ups and downs and all of that, it's like winning a grand final now, bruv. You would not see me for a week after.
Yeah.
I would be underground going berserk. Bro, I can't even tell you what that would mean. You know what I mean? Even to make one, just knowing how hard it is to make one. So many things have to go right that people don't realise to make one. So it's like, get the juices flowing.
All you got to do is look at Penrith. They win 17 on the trot.
I know.
And then lose that last game.
I know.
And they've gone on that run again. You know what I mean? So
surely, yeah.
Everything has to go right. Every single thing.
Everything. You're right.
Okay, so I mean, what an incredible journey. And to top it all off, you get named in New Zealand Rugby League squad. You have to pull out due to injury. But just to get named in that,
yeah. We're actually on our Mad Monday.
Yeah.
So we're on our bus. We had a bus. They used to do it good. The boys used to hire a bus. We used to get dressed up, jump on the bus, and we just go massive pub crawl.
Yeah.
And it was good.
The old days, you can't do that no more.
No way. But so we were dressed up and we were smacked. We were smoked. We were on this bus like cross-eyed, and Sponge stands up on the bus. He goes, "All right, hey, Kiwi squad's just been announced. You want to know who's in it?" And all the boys are layering up like, yeah. And he names like your regulars, the Simons and all that, the Manto Hire, all these boys. And then and Shaun Johnson, the boys just erupt. And I'm like, wait, what? Like, what? You know what? And I'm like, hold on, mate, give me some water or something. You know, I didn't really know what was going on, but I knew that it was going to be hard for me to go because of my back, like, and it was still a ongoing issue. And I hadn't had a preseason the year before, so it was like one of those ones. Like I sort of needed to pull out, just for that reason. And yeah, man. So that's how that unfolded.
I mean, what a debut year! Holy shit!
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, so but the next year though, you do get to play as a halfback in the test. Against the Anzac Test, and I mean, like you in your debut, you get an 80-minute intercept, Eden Park 80-minute intercept in a Test match. What's the feeling like?
You know, I was buzzy talking about all this shit, bro. Like, I'm well aware that all this stuff happened, right?
Yeah.
But whenever I'm sitting here and I'm actually thinking about it, like, bro, like I actually kind of get a bit emotional because, like, you go, like, bro, throughout my career, like, obviously I've copped a heap, and I've also been praised a heap. Don't get me wrong, right? But for some reason, that's been the biggest battle, making the positive stuff louder than the negative stuff.
Absolutely.
You know, for some reason, the negative stuff's always the stuff that eats you, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But then when you reflect on moments like this, like, it's like, bro, like you did stuff that no other player was doing at that age, you know, and it's cool for me to sit here and think about it because, like, you forget it.
You don't appreciate it because you're so ingrained in the now
and just trying to do whatever I'm trying to do right now. Right?
Absolutely.
So if I take myself back to that moment was special. Yeah, the intercept was cool, but where I scored that try, I scored it. I was dead set running. Say if you're in the grandstand, you're my dad. I'm running towards you to score that try. He was sat right there.
Oh my God.
So out of every part of the field I could have got an intercept, that happened to be the one that I was running straight at my family and all my best mates. There was like, I think there was like 40 of them there.
Wow.
Going wild. And I've got a length of field try. 20 years old.
And it was your dream to play for the Kiwis. I'm getting tingles thinking about it.
Yeah. So, yeah, far out. Unreal, man.
Incredible. And I mean, and it was like, yes, you did lose, but 20-12 against such a, red hot.
They were fire back then.
So Lockie would have been there.
It wasn't. Nah, I think it was Cronk, Thurston.
Oh, okay, that's all right.
Yeah. Smith, the usual, like Inglis, all those Slater. Wow. They were hot, bro.
Mate, that team, that Australian side was just outrageous. Okay, so and then you guys, the next year you win the Rugby League International Federation Rookie of the Year, but the season for you, what was that like? Wasn't second year syndrome or anything like that, or was it? What was it like?
Okay, I remember according to reports it was.
Yeah, okay.
So we had a poor year. We actually were going okay, and then the noise started to come when we lost our last 2012, right? We lost our last 8 games of the year.
Yeah.
2012, but that was like Brian McFadden got fired, so Bluey got fired.
Yeah, okay.
Sponge took over.
Yep.
Or he got fired for like the last 2 games or something. It was just a crazy situation.
On and off the field.
On and off the field.
That affects on the field.
Like stability is your key to success is 100%. Stability, right?
And look at all the best clubs.
And one thing the Warriors didn't have was stability.
Yeah, especially after
I had 6 coaches in my 7 years there.
Far out.
You know what I mean?
That's so hard as a half to
it is.
Get things down.
We were getting. I'd come in one preseason and I was still calling the calls from last year's structure, and then they were like, no, like there's different calls. You know what I mean? And it's like, far out, okay.
Yeah, it's surprising how much that actually does impact you. For example, when Wayne was there, when I came through, we used to call out the back plane a Nike.
Yeah.
And then a new coach comes in.
He has his own.
He has his own things. But I used to love the name Nike. I was like, that's such a fucking great call for the out the back play.
Yeah.
So it is. It is quite a change, and people, you don't really appreciate how much of a change it is until you probably look back at it. So 2003. So was that your first? That would definitely have been your first experience dealing with negative press.
Yeah, 2012 definitely was. It was. It was. I mean. I don't know exactly how well I dealt with it, but I like to think I've always had a real good supportive crew around me, and which has certainly helped with however I've dealt with it.
Yep.
Like my dad's been a massive soundboard for me. My brother has been like amazing, you know, and I've had that support so I've been lucky in that sense where I've had people I've felt comfortable talking to about situations, and even just people that if I'm starting to go off a bit with the Furies or believe what I'm hearing, pull me back in the line, you know, and tell me honestly, or if I'm if I'm believing all the hype and, going, yeah, Bolt, like I'm flying, they'll pull me back down and be like, no, hold on, bro. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? So I've been lucky in that sense, man. But 2012 was definitely an eye-opener in that sense and copying that criticism.
It's crazy how, like, people just don't really appreciate that that's a young man still trying to be just a man. Like, you look at a guy like Nathan Cleary, similar situation, second or third year, just gets pumped.
He got drilled, eh?
Yeah, like, and in a similar situation to you, like, you come out, you take the Warriors to their first GF in 10 years, roughly.
Yep.
And just because you don't take them to a GF the next year, you've got to deal. You're the one dealing with the most pressure out of everyone, and I'm assuming it's not even like at that age you're on this gigantic contract either. So like the excuse of like, oh well, he's on $1 million, so he can just cop it. That doesn't even work because you're still a young guy. Explain to someone listening what it's kind of like dealing with it day in, day out.
Yeah, it's I mean, like, it's good for people to hear this because whether they're the ones that have written something or posted something, whatever, that's been a drill on someone or something negative about someone, like, they've got to realize that at the end of the day, you take the profession away, that's a human, right? And a lot of these guys don't get taught they get taught how to play rugby league, not how to deal with hate.
Yeah, like
essentially just straight out hate, right?
Like a lot of, and again, I've spoken about this a lot on the podcast, footy players can cop reasonable criticism. Yeah. Like, SJ, great player, just needs to work on his kicking game. Right. A footy player sees that, they're like, yeah, sweet, whatever. Yeah. But it's the bullshit. It's
the bullshit from people that just don't know.
They don't know anything.
So it's like me going into an accounting firm and being like, you are fucking shit at getting these numbers together.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know what I mean? Like, essentially. So
because you don't know anything about
I don't know anything about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? It's me telling them, or they think that they maybe played park footy. Yeah. This is the best part. There's yes, I'm glad this crossed my mind. There was a moment in time where I realised how to just let things go in one ear out the other, throw it over the shoulder, whatnot. Okay. Drop balls, errors. Manu copped it heaps. Oh, Manu can't catch a ball. So many errors. I was driving past a park in Ellerslie, and these guys were playing kick catch, like footy, throwing passes and that, and they couldn't catch the ball.
Yeah, yes.
You know what I mean? I watched them try catch the ball.
No pressure, nothing.
Nothing. And I watched that and I go, the dudes that are saying this shit, like, could they actually do it?
Yeah, no.
And it made me realize that, bro, they can't. So why give you energy and why put your attention and just let them eat you like that? So that was actually that was years ago, bro. That was years ago, and I remember thinking like, those guys dropping that ball in that park are probably the same fellas that commented saying,
absolutely.
You know what I mean? He should catch a ball. That's his job.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Like as if Manu's intentionally not catching the ball.
That's right.
Like as if he's not working every day
to catch the ball.
Yeah, to catch the ball. Ricky Gervais, you know Ricky Gervais?
Yeah.
He's like a comedian and that. He has a really good point about this because obviously he's really famous. He says, like, if you were walking down the street and someone jumped out of a trash can and said, fuck you piece of shit, rah, rah, would you respect that person's opinion, or would you just keep walking and be like, that's a fucking crazy person?
Yeah.
And the weird thing about the internet is that there's a lot of people jumping out of trash cans, but you don't know it because you can't see them. Yeah. So you take it for that's an actual person that you respect.
Yeah, well, that's a good way to look at it, eh?
But in reality, these are just people spewing hate.
Yeah.
And a lot of the time it comes from their own unhappiness. Yeah. I always say to people, have you ever seen a successful hater?
Nah.
Someone that's doing better than you or as good is never hating on you. Nah.
It's always the people below you.
It's always the people that are struggling with their own issues at home and they're not happy with their own lives or whatever. And I think, people that are like, well, he's on $1 million, he should cop whatever. It's like, no, look, if you want to sit there in the comment section and say, you know what, SJ at 20, he needs to work on his game management, his defence needs a little bit of work, but, he's still a great player. Yeah. Or you don't even need to have to say that. Yeah. Totally fine. Fine. Because that's
for SJ, for whoever's warranted that $1 million, they need to be doing these. Happy days.
Yeah, 100%.
But to sit there and say he's on $1 million, he shouldn't be doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, he's a piece of shit. Yeah. He's soft. He's inconsistent. He's a cat.
Yeah.
Like all that carry on. It's like, I promise you guys, any NRL player, even a winger or a half that gets NRL, they are tough as fuck.
Yeah,
and they could ride you into the ground any day of the week.
Did you see what Ross Westbrook come out and said the other day?
What did he say?
Cool.
Yeah.
People were like, how's your legacy going to be affected if you don't win a championship? Because everyone's talking about him being top 5 point guard of all time. He's like, mate, like, what do you mean? Like, I'm already a champion, bro.
100%.
I'm playing in the NBA.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Like, we're right, like, obviously he had a tough upbringing in that. Mine was pretty good, to be fair, but his was bad. And he said, from where I come from, even making it to this far is I'm a champion, bro. Like, you're not going to tell me or tarnish my name because I don't win a championship.
Absolutely.
So I was like, bro, like Russ, I'm feeling you on that, Russ. I got you, bro.
It's so true.
Yeah.
It's so true. I think a lot of fans are becoming. You know what's crazy is most fans are fantastic.
Yeah.
Most fans.
Oh no, and again, bro, we were out at Para last week, and like they're obviously a very passionate bunch, but they were like, there was a guy there that was rude, disrespectful, like yelling out to us. I was with a few of the boys saying some stuff that I'm like, I'm not even going to give you the time of day, bro.
Yeah.
You know? In the back of my mind, I was still thinking, but you've paid a ticket to sit here and watch this play.
So you just paid our wages.
For another day.
Sweet, yeah.
But then there was other guys that were going, hey, like, Shay, like, really love you as a player, man. Like, would you mind if we grab a photo? And I'm thinking, like, there's actually no better feeling than when you get respect from other teams' fans.
Absolutely.
And they're just fully respectful and show you love and show you kindness, because ultimately, like, that's how I'm happy to give it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
Like, I'm happy to give it. I don't have to give it, but I'm happy to. You know what I mean? So it's yeah, man. There's definitely the good crop out there for sure.
Absolutely. I think it's getting better. I think a lot of it's even in like my comment sections, a lot of people will get called out by other fans.
Yeah.
They'll be like,
so they're holding each other accountable.
Oh, yeah, because they're like, mate, fucking shut up. Like, what are you talking about? And and so I think that's a tough thing. Is like you have a small percentage of dickheads that make other fans look like they're like that.
For some
too.
reason they make the big noise. Yeah. For some reason it's like,
mate,
man, let's not let them do that.
100% vocal minority. That's what I always call it, a vocal minority. But as I said, most fans are fantastic. Honestly, but what I've been able to achieve after footy is all because of the fans.
Yeah.
And so they've responded to the way I want footy to be, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
So that is proof that there's a large portion of fans that want positivity and understand that, you know.
Right. Well, when you get someone who's walked in those shoes, definitely easier to relate to, right? You know what I mean? Like, and you're obviously real passionate about shifting that mold and how athletes or rugby league players are viewed and talked to.
Yep.
So when you get that coming out from someone who's actually been in their shoes, it's like, well, bro, you can't sit here and say he doesn't know what he's talking about.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's definitely
it helps.
Yeah. Awesome work, bro. Awesome work for sure.
Okay, so the next year, 2013, you play. We'll fast forward a bit. The England at Wembley Stadium, locked up at halftime. England lead 18-14. Seconds to go in the game. Johnson scored a final try of the game in the 80th minute. Walk us through that moment.
Yeah, really special moment, really cool moment, bro.
Wembley.
I've never been in a stadium like Wembley before.
Yeah.
Like ridiculous. And it wasn't even packed, and there was like 60,000 odd people there, and the Poms are loud, bro.
Yeah.
They've got the meanest chance. They create, I'll say it now, the English fans create the best environment to play sport in front of.
Really?
They have these chants, they are engaged.
Yeah. Like
constantly engaged. And I'll never, because the trial was one thing, and we can talk about that, but I'll never forget the noise I heard when I had to kick the goal to actually win. Yeah. You know, because the try equaled us up. And that kick, I remember sitting there and I was just going like, bro, I can't even hear my own thoughts.
Yeah, like feel like vibrating. Yeah.
It was ridiculous. And my dad was actually in the crowd again. He flew up there.
How good's that?
It was like him and his
seeing his son in Wembley Stadium kicking a field conversion to win the game.
So it was surreal for many reasons. But yeah, that game actually wasn't one of my better performances. I mean, Burgess ran over me through a dummy. I fell for it and scored. And there was things throughout the game where I did okay, but we kept fighting. We held on. The boys were playing unreal. And then that one moment, just any kid's dream, really, isn't it?
Oh,
any kid's dream was to be in that moment. And I had dreamt of that moment. I had been down at the park, like, Johnson to win the game, kick a goal. You know what I mean? Like every kid plays that play out in their head. So the fact that I got to do it on that sort of stage, in a hostile environment like that, that's definitely out there one of my proudest moments of my career.
Mate, incredible. And you finished the tournament with the most points, which is also incredible. The next year though, this is vintage Johnson and Auckland Nines 2014. How when that got announced, were you like?
I was like, sign me up, bro.
We're on here.
Yeah. So the tournament. got announced, and then I literally had a call like the day of.
Yeah.
My managers go like, they want you to be the face of the comp.
Yep.
I said, give me the pen.
Yep.
Like, this concept is just off its head.
Yeah.
Like, some kid out there in Auckland, some league mad fan is going to get all his favourite players in one place at one time, playing an exciting format of rugby league.
Yep.
Like,
Evan.
Like, let's go. Let's go right now.
Yeah.
So that was just a dream time to be a part of the game in Auckland. Like, an absolute unbelievable time to be a part of the growth of the game, and again, just shine that spotlight on rugby league, you know. And that first year it was pretty much sold out, I'm pretty sure. And we made the semis, I think, and obviously everyone stays around to watch us go. Bit of razzle dazzle there.
Oh, bit of business, baby.
Bit of business. Got the people on their feet.
Shit. Against my Broncos too, bro. What's with you and the Broncos? Why are you always carving us up? What's
That's
doing?
not the case. That's not the case. But just in a sense of just being able to, man, just showcase rugby league. It was
it fun being in it?
I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it. I would play every year if I could.
Yeah.
And that was the issue that, like, the Sharks last 2019 when the Nines was on at Perth.
Yeah.
They were like, oh, bro, like, come on, do you have to play? And I'm like, bro, I'm playing. So they restricted minutes, but got myself over there.
Yeah.
It's just, for me, bro, it always resorts back to, is what I'm going to do, like, inspire some kid back in NZ and grow our sport, like grow the sport. That's all I want to. I want to grow the sport in New Zealand, and I want to keep showcasing it in the best possible way. And for me, being a part of the Nines every year was doing that. And like, I felt a sense of duty to have to play and play well, and like, get the crowd on their feet, step someone and throw along, and just get kids frothed, because I know if that tournament's happening when I'm 12 years old, I am there 100%. And I'm on the edge of the rail going, all right, let's go. Like,
100%.
Let's they know, like, I'm frothing.
And then, like, the next day you're with your friends, like, stepping, whoever stepped the way you stepped, you know what I mean?
Like, that's what I loved about seeing the players that bought into it. Yeah, obviously there were some boys that were like, nah, you know, fair enough. But bro, we had like Benji come over, you know what I mean? Like, you had gun players playing it. Like, Roger played it. Like, so yeah, for me, it was such an awesome concept and an awesome tournament, and it did its job. You know what I mean?
Massively.
Yeah.
And your footwork. So what's interesting is that, you know, a lot of people that I guess don't know rugby league as deeply. They might see Roger, yourself, Kalen, Benji, and they'll be like, oh yeah, they got mad steps. But all of your steps are really fucking different.
Yeah.
Like, you've got a very sharp right foot whack, like very sharp, boom, boom, and you can do it like, I think the closest similar-ish probably would be you and Roger maybe, but you're still different. You know, did you always work on it, or, you know what I mean, how did it come about to have that kind of footwork?
Nah, and this is probably the regret in my career. Like, and then I'll talk about, you know, as a kid, but since I've entered first grade, you've always mentioned, like, work on your weaknesses, you know what I mean? Like, live around your game.
Yeah.
So I never work on my footwork.
Wow.
You know what I mean? I was never big on my speed because I was fast enough. You know what I mean?
That's your most underrated thing was how fucking quick you were.
But I wish I look at some of these NFL workouts.
Yeah.
Their power, speed, explosive, agility work. If I was doing that since I was 20, and that was a part of my program.
Yeah.
Who knows, bro?
Mate,
you know what I mean? Who knows?
You know what's mental is that I used to have this discussion all the time. I was like, bro, why are we doing the same training as front rowers?
Exactly, man. It's not individualized, tailored.
I'm supposed to be a speed machine, and I had like, okay, footwork or whatever, but I'm doing grinding.
Like, the front rowers are doing what I'm doing. So we go, even now to this day at Sharks, we'll go do a speed block.
Yeah.
And you've got forwards doing what the OBs are doing. You know, you're doing your drilling through the block.
I don't get it, man.
They might do something a little bit different, but it's all pretty much the same. But like, young fella, the only place I practiced it was backyard.
Yeah.
With mates. Touch field. A lot of it's just instinct, bro. Like, and this is a real interesting conversation I have with people when they want to know about the step. I'm like, bro, I don't know if you can generally get taught how to step. 100%. You might get taught the movement, but in terms of timing and feeling when to do the movement, that's a whole different thing. So,
mate, if you, anyone that's, you know, I mean, if there's any young kids watching, go to his highlights, and actually the power, obviously your step is incredible, but the power is in your ability to gauge how far someone's going laterally. That's where the power is.
But without knowing that you're doing it.
Exactly.
Right? So it's all
feeling.
subconsciously, and it's all on feel. So, like you can run footwork drills that will enhance your footwork.
Yeah.
But the feel component to it, and the bit that people go, how did you do that? Or why did you do that there? And I can sit there and I can go, I don't know why. Actually, I generally don't know, bro. Like I just did it.
Because it's like you're like taking in like hundreds of thousands of bit of information, and he's like, and you do so well, and like Roger and Benji, that stuff, is knowing like, okay, his body is slightly moving a bit too far to his left. Boom, step.
Yeah.
And I think that's a very underrated part of your game. You're so good at judging laterally what the defender's doing.
Yeah.
It's just
you look at the boys like Rog and Kalen and that, like they are. But then you look at someone like Tedesco and how he goes about it in a
very different way.
But it's just as, or if more effective, you know what I mean? So there's not, and again, if there is a kid out there watching, there's not, you have to step like Shaun Johnson, or you have to step like Tuivasa shit. You know what I mean? You find your way.
Whatever works for you.
Whatever works for you, you just enhance that big time.
Absolutely. Like you might get in the, because like Tedesco's body isn't built to really do that. Nah. He's a short, sharp steps. Yeah. His top speed isn't that good, but his 10 meters is fucking amazing. Whereas your top speed's fucking really, really good, as you caught, Jennings and that, which was massive. But yeah, just to watch your footwork, bro, your ability to judge their lateral movement is just like...
I love that we've just had a segment on footwork.
100%, bro.
Hey, talk to me about your goosey. Hey, what were you seeing back in the day?
Bro, because I played soccer till I was 17. I didn't know nothing. I was just running and moving. That's literally it. Like,
and then you named it the goosey. It was like, hold on. This bloke here is doing something that no one has seen before. That is now the goose step.
That's the goosey. I can't believe how much that took off, bro. Honestly, it's fucking... You know what? I kind of feel bad because I know the players will get pestered from fans by it so much.
Do a goosey.
Like, bruh, I've done 100 today.
Yeah.
My hammies are gone.
Yeah.
Okay, so that next year, you win 2014, the same year that you have that incredible Nines run. You also win the Golden Boot award, and that's you're beating players like Sam Burgess, Thurston, Greg Inglis. I mean, again, I say, what did it feel like? But it's kind of just like, it's so surreal to say that you've won the Golden Boot award.
Yeah, it was. I mean, like, again, with that one, that was a double-edged sword if I'd ever seen one.
Yeah, okay.
Obviously, you can't please everyone in the world, right?
Yeah.
And whoever chose it believed I was worthy of it. And, to this day, I'm probably still somewhat trying to convince myself that I was.
Okay.
Just with the caliber of players that were in the competition, and, again, probably letting a lot of that negative criticism affect me, like, do I deserve this? Yeah, like we won the Four Nations in
100%.
2014, and I had a fairly good tournament.
You beat a red hot Australian side that wasn't struck by injury.
Yeah.
Like
so I was happy. Like I was very grateful that I had been recognised on that level. Because I know just what a prestigious award it was. I was very humbled to receive it, but then at the same time, bro, like if someone said to me, like, would you if you didn't win it, would you be okay? Or like, could you give it back to trade off all the criticism and heat you got for it?
Really?
I probably would, man.
Wow, really?
Which is sad.
Because so many people are like,
he doesn't deserve it. He's the most inconsistent, the biggest flop. You're like, bro, I heard it all. And that was like, yeah, I'm trying to be happy for winning an award. And I had people around me that were really happy, and it was like, wow, and I go to get my hair cut at, with Moe from Barber Brothers, and he's talking about it all the time, bro. Like, Isha, you were Golden Boot. Like, 100%. And there's people out there that realise that, yeah, bro, like you were crowned the best player in the world at that point in time.
100%.
So I love that some people feel that. I do. It feels really good to feel that. But I certainly know that there's, like I said, probably before I was too good at dealing with all that negative.
Because I think a lot of people don't realise Golden Boot, if I'm remember correctly, it's the international games.
International games, yeah.
So the nonsense about inconsistency, right? It has whatever you were playing at club
on an international level.
The international games. Yeah. So it has nothing to do with fucking.
Yeah.
So like it's just a misinformation from people that don't actually realise what the award is. Like it's that same thing we're talking about. The bloke that can't even catch the ball is criticising Manu. It's the bloke that doesn't even understand the award.
Yeah.
The criteria of the award is criticising you when it's you were the halfback that beat a red hot Australian side that was stacked. That's a very reasonable person to win a golden. Yeah. It's not outrageous. You can disagree with it, but it's definitely not unreasonable to think that. So that fucking sucks, bro. That you have to go through that bullshit.
Yeah.
But you know what? when we go back in 10 years' time.
Hey, my name's on the trophy.
100%.
Hey, I've got one of them at home. So anyone wants to come try a question, I'll be like,
100%.
And probably the thing is, as I get older and, you know, and just hardened, you know what I mean? And like I do, like I'll get to a point where I'll be like, nah, like they can say whatever the fuck they want to say. You know what I mean? Like no one can take this away from me now.
Absolutely.
This was a moment in time. I played good footy and I got recognised for it. That's all it is. It's not, I didn't choose it myself. You know what I mean? I didn't say, hold on. I'm over here, boys.
Exactly,
you know what I mean? Like, hello, pick me.
Yeah,
pick me.
I know. You didn't gift it to yourself.
So like, I'm definitely, you know what I mean? I don't want to sound like I'm sulking or whinging, but that was just how it felt at that time.
100%.
Yeah, so,
it's your reality.
Yeah,
you know,
that's all it is, man.
It's it's what you experience. It's like sometimes I'd be like, oh, why is he feeling this way or that? It's like I'm just telling you what happened. I don't sit there every day fucking talking about it.
No, I'm not saying that. That's it. Like
100%.
it's all in the rear view, and like it all flows and eaves. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But at that point in time, that's just what it was. But yeah,
one of your best bits of your highlights, and I don't know if you remember this, is when you shot at Sam Burgess. Do you remember that, bro?
Now
let's go.
Hey, you remember that, man?
Oh shit, bro! Even when I seen it, I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah, he was so good about it too. He actually put something out after going like 1-0 to history. Like it was a good giggle.
I couldn't believe it.
And let's be honest, that's a once in a lifetime. And you know what? People were probably still trying to complain about that.
Yeah. Oh, he wasn't. He was off balance.
Yeah,
He was this, like,
but
my
bro,
God.
that's something that So I actually practiced that. I knew they ran that play.
Okay, so you knew he was coming.
I knew I was ahead of it, bro.
Yeah,
I knew it was coming.
Yep.
And you can even see I'm ahead of it. You watch the clip. I bounce off the line because I know it's coming back.
Yeah.
And I had Ruben Wiki running that line at me at training.
Oh, no way.
I had him running it at me. I said, run it, Rubes, run it. Because I know it's coming this week for sure.
Okay, 100%.
And it wouldn't put Sam Burgess on a halfback. You know what
absolutely.
I mean? Like, it's just common sense. But I bounced off the line. And was my intentions to flatten him? No. Right? I was just stop him. Like, please just speed bump if anything. Speed bump if anything. Let the boys get in there.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But ended up being, it's just timing, whatever happened. And this is the bit that pisses me off the most. I thought I was a mad dog. I thought I was on the ground and I knew I'd smacked him off his feet. And I'm getting my head in all of a sudden nice and tight thinking I'm a mad wrestler. I'm getting all aggressive with him, got my knees into him. I'm going, yeah boy.
Rough him up.
Like, you know, how good's that? And then gave away a penalty.
Oh, fuck. It's a dominant tackle.
I was like, no.
Oh, my God. All right, well, we won't remember that last bit.
Yeah,
that's fucking bullshit. It's a dominant tackle. You should be able to fucking
You should see me though. I thought I was a mad dog. I'm like, you see me sort of got that look on my face like,
I'm the man, baby.
Like, yes. But then,
Mate,
don't worry. Sammy's got me back plenty of times throughout my career.
How good's have Wiki run it? I mean, if there's any bloke you want running out your test yard, it's fucking Wiki.
Rubes. Me and Rubes had a really good relationship actually. He hardened me, man. He
really?
There's maybe a story for another time, but yeah, he hardened me for sure, bro.
What, just like as in old school?
Old school, like I remember 2011 before I debuted. I was in at 6 o'clock in the morning before anyone else was in, and he was running at me, like, and I just had to tackle him. Just me and him. Oh, and Henry Perinara was there too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he was just doing some fitness, but he helped. Like he
officiated.
Yeah, officiated. He was like, all right, run at him, and I was just having to tackle him, and he was just abusing me, really.
Wow.
A little abuse session, and then put me we'd be doing stuff on the bike, and I was always real crap on the watt bikes and that, and he'd be walking around me, and he'd see I'm struggling. I'll never forget this.
Yeah.
Pain is weakness leaving the body. That's what he told me, and then ever since then, anytime I'm in a hurt locker, it would be like, bro, it's just pain. You know, it's just get the weakness out, bro. You know what I mean? You'll be right.
Fucking oath.
So just stuff like that. Yeah, I've got a lot of respect and a lot of time for Rubes and how he helped me for sure.
Yeah, like it's giving you that one-on-one, like knowing that you're an important part of the club going forward, and like to go, you know what? At the time when you're young, you're like, man, why is he doing this to me?
Yeah.
But when
he's
you get
got
older,
such a simple outlook on life and outlook on rugby league. Like we played bad, he'd come in and he wasn't involved in the video session. He's like, just can tackle him hard, like run hard and tackle him hard. You know what I mean? Like, and that's what I loved about him. You know, he's just so simple and just straight up.
Hey, that's incredible. I think you had like Wiki, one of the goats, helping you. Okay, so 80 try, 2015, played in captain the Warriors 9 side, went fantastic again. Okay, so these next few years, was it 2017? You had a pretty solid year. I mean, you had a good.
So probably one of my top 2-3 years at the Warriors was that 15 season.
Yeah.
Where I ended up busting my ankle.
Okay.
So I busted my ankle like with something like 8 rounds to go or something. But we were sitting 4th.
Oh,
when that happened. So we were flying. We were on, man, and we were playing really good footy. Mount Smart was selling. You know, it was on, and then. Yeah, that was my first major injury, was my ankle.
Yeah.
And that's when, sort of things just come to a halt a bit, really. Like I had to alter, like I couldn't move the way I did. My ankle was a bit stiff. And that's sort of when that period of, okay, let's learn other elements of the game, or, you know, really find ways you can contribute. Because I knew I didn't have that top end speed. You know, I still had speed, but not what it was.
Yeah.
You know, and not as bouncy or springy as what it was. And that was just through the pure fact of busting your ankle and breaking your leg. So
what was it like mentally for you, like, you know, coming to the realization that you're not the player that you were before?
It was okay, man. It was okay, because probably a part of me always wanted to be knew that bits of my game needed to be worked on, and I wanted to be more rounded, and it just allowed me to maybe get nudged in that direction. You know what I mean?
Sometimes, like, I always, you know, not always, but when I'm speaking to people about negative things that I've been through in my life, sometimes the negative things can pivot you into greatness.
It is, and that's I think I mentioned it at the start of the show. Like I like to think I've always been a person that's tried to have that positive outlook, right? So like, even with all the negative stuff, you always sort of come out the other end and be like, oh, okay, well, all right, you know, and find a way that you can sort of use it. Or
absolutely,
with my ankle, you know, just all right, well, let's find other ways to contribute. You know what I mean? And grow as a player, and then. 16 come back. I think I played majority of that season. Went okay. 17 similar. Probably wasn't until 18.
Get back in the finals that year.
Yeah, 18 was was a year that we really got things going, and then funny how everything went after that. But
get back into the finals and then granted a release. So I guess you know, I'm sure there's details that you probably can't speak about. I know that footy's footy, but I guess give us as much as you can say. How did that happen? How much did it hurt? Did it not hurt? What was the whole process like for you?
It was a real crazy situation, actually. Really out of the blue. Out of the blue. Because like I said, we had the year that we had. And to be fair, like I won't get into detail about certain relationships I had with staff at the club, and on that, like I definitely think I had a part to play in it, you know, and but like I knew that they weren't severed, but it was like just something wasn't quite right with them, you know. Like there were certain things that were happening that I was kind of like, that's a little weird that was happening, but not in my wildest dreams did I think, okay, I'm not going to be at the club next year. I had one more year left on my contract.
Okay.
So I wasn't even thinking about contract negotiations or anything. I was just playing footy. I played one of my best seasons. I was loving it, man. It was unreal. Blake Green had come to the club. He was so good to play with. Obviously we had Rog there, and we were just really, I was like, man, this is it. Like, this is, boys, like we're getting it now.
100%.
And then there's a bit of movement. I remember I was training on for the Kiwis in the season tour, and there's a bit of movement. Like a few of our, like Mason Leno left. I think James Gavay left. Like there was a few boys that sort of started to move, and I was like, man, that's interesting that like we've just started to form a squad here that, you know, is really starting to gel, and obviously
back in the finals.
Yeah. And admittedly, that finals game, just quickly, that finals game was probably what really thrusted all the movement around myself, because I didn't play well in that finals game.
Okay.
Yeah, I had a poor finals game, and when you haven't played in finals for a number of years, and wasn't the only one that had a poor finals game, but like I was that key cog in the side. Yeah. Like you sort of, you know what I mean? I remember heading into the game thinking, this is an opportunity for us, man. Like we know how rare this is, and this is a big opportunity for us to do something special. And it just didn't play out how I envisaged it, or what we all wanted. So anyway, went to the UK, bit of movement, and that was right. That was that. And then I get sent an article from Kayla. I think it was from my dad as well, family. And it was like I can't remember the title, but it was along the lines of Johnson not offered contract or something like that. You know, like Warriors won't offer Johnson past his current deal.
Yeah, which is like, what? That's a year away.
And I was like, well, okay, that's a bit shit. Like I was like, man, I would have really liked to have heard that before it maybe went out in the papers.
Absolutely.
And so for me, that was real left field. And I was like, man, that's a bit of a distraction now, you know, like. And anyway, I spoke to my manager about it. He was obviously really off it. He was like, this is just a joke. Like, you don't treat a player that's been at the club, that's had multiple chances at leaving the club. You know, I'd signed a few times throughout my stay, and you wanted to stay there because I wanted to be successful there, you know. And I actually made it real public that I wanted to play for the Warriors for life, and I wanted to have success here.
Yep.
That never actually changed.
Yeah.
But just with how things unfolded, got a bit ugly.
Was there any clubs that you're close to leaving, or you're always like, nah, I want to stay at the Warriors?
Oh, nah, there was a few good conversations with a few clubs. There was one with the Roosters, actually.
Holy shit! What
Yeah,
year?
that was before they signed to Desco.
No way.
Yeah, it was before, and then they signed Cronk.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was, I actually sat down with Trent, met them all.
No way.
Yeah, so and I was real transparent with the Warriors, you know what I mean? Like, I actually had to stay back after a game we played here and had a chat with them.
Yeah.
And ultimately, like, it was obviously fucking really inviting. Like, I was like, man, this is, you know, like, far out. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, I stayed because I wanted to win. I wanted to win a comp at the Warriors.
Yeah.
That was the reason I stayed. At the end, that was all that mattered to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, bro, got on with it, and once I got back from England, it's probably when stuff really started to kick off. Like, my manager was just furious, and to be fair, I don't know the full deets on how the chat with my manager in the club happened and what was said in those ones, but ultimately it was like, well, I wanted out because I felt so the club said, no, you got 1 year left here, you know, like we're talking about after that, and I said, well, I feel like sort of the stuff I'd been feeling throughout the year that, like I mentioned, wasn't a bit right, topped with this now. I don't know if I can walk through those doors and want to be the best possible version of myself and go to work for you.
100%.
You know what I mean? Like, I just don't know. Like, I don't like that I'm going to walk through these doors and not feel fully comfortable or, you know, like wanted as such, you know, after you've come out and said this a year before I'm even off contract.
And also, just for people listening, like, why did the club intentionally come out and say, we will not re-sign Shaun Johnson? So they're telling you one thing, we want you at the club next year, but they're also positioning you because they want you to say you want to leave. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and that's still, I still don't know why they had to come out and say that. Yeah. Even, you know what I mean? There was no one asked, they just come out and said it. I think, actually, no, something was mentioned or something along the lines of like, yeah, you got a few players off contract, you know, next year, Shaun. And then it was like, Shaun's going to be treated like every other player, and we will be reviewing that situation. And then I think there was another follow-on saying,
yeah, it's just, it's,
I can't remember, bro. And it's one of those situations that, like, if it was ever misconceived that I didn't want to be at the club, or that it was my fault, you know, that things unfolded, like, that's okay, because ultimately, yeah, I did ask for a release. You know what I mean? Like, I'm okay with people thinking that.
Yeah.
But it was never initiated by me.
Yeah.
That's what I want people to know. It's not, I didn't go to the club because I wasn't happy. Like, there was stuff that went on for that to happen, you know?
Yeah, yeah. And that's what the intentional, you don't know they intentionally did it, but honestly, like, to release that information, it puts you in the worst position ever.
And all the feedback, and I was getting advice from a lot of people, and everyone's advice I was receiving was all the same. They couldn't believe what was happening, and they said, bro, if it was me, I could not walk back in there and play one more year before that. At
least do it privately.
Yeah,
tell you first.
And that's what I'm saying. And like, you know, like, I understand it's a business at the end of the day, and yeah, your halfback, your highest paid player on the roster didn't deliver in the biggest game in the club's, you know, recent history. Yeah. And I get that. And I as a person, I was like, that's not good enough, you know what I mean? So I knew that, yeah, okay, that's cool. But it was more how it was dealt, which I was a little disappointed. And then when the opportunity, so when Cronulla reached out, that's when it was like, okay, like, far out, man. Like, yeah, I now that that's there, it's like, okay, I don't think I really want to, you know what I mean? Or it might have been like we asked for a release and then it was pretty much like coincided with one another. You know, Val left and there was just that cap space there and they needed someone. Yep. And I was like, this, for me, this is a sign, Pete. Like, this is an opportunity. Since when can someone sign an athlete in bloody November for the following year? It doesn't happen, but this has come up.
Especially a marquee player.
And this is security. This is not just next year, but for the following 2 years.
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, so why would I wait till next year?
100%.
What if I get injured, something happens,
Huge
and then I'm scrambling for a job, you know what I mean? So this is, that was my thinking at that point in time, and it was like, yeah, Pete, man, let's get out. Yep. And Pete always knew that if I wanted out, they weren't going to necessarily keep me at the club if I didn't want to be at the club. They just couldn't afford to, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, it's interesting though, because they would have known that by releasing that information, you're not going to want to be at the club. So it's
a crazy time, and it's funny. Like, and to Stephen Kearney's credit, he actually rang me when I was in England, and he said, "Mate, just want you to know that I didn't even know that this was happening.
Really,
and that while you're at the club, I will do my best to So he was the only one from the club that reached out to me.
Wow.
Yeah, the others
After the article?
After the article. So the others,
Yep.
I didn't see the others until we got back.
Wow.
But
And I guess for people, as you've already explained, if they come to you privately and say, SJ, you're not in our future,
all respect, man.
then you're like, you know what? I get it.
At least you're transparent with
100%.
me. That's all I've ever wanted.
Most players, they'll cop that.
Yeah. So that was that situation, man. And then, yeah, bro, like I actually left, which I don't think a lot of people thought would actually happen.
I mean, even me, I was like, he'll come back, he'll play really good, they'll mend their relationship.
Yeah,
it'll be
yeah.
sweet. That's what I honestly thought.
Yeah, and who knows, bro? Like, to be fair, I could have. Like, that was Peter O'Sullivan sat there and he said to me, "Don't you want to sort of earn your spot?" And at the time, I sort of was a bit fucking shitty about that because I was like, "Earn my spot, bro. I've been here, and I've had multiple chances to learn. I've been through the highs and the lows that this club's been through. Like, what do you mean? Like, I want to be here.
Yeah,
what I mean? Like,
I love this club.
So I took, and at the time, Peter O'Sullivan, to be fair, he'd only been there 3 months or something. So I was like, here we got this guy walking into a situation where he just doesn't know what it's been like. Over the past
doesn't know the
few years.
history of what's going on.
So I got my back up over that.
Yeah.
And that's why I say I do take ownership in how, like, they're not all to blame for this. Like, I definitely take ownership and responsibility because maybe I wasn't the easiest person to deal with at times, or maybe I felt like a bit entitled at times, you know what I mean? And I hate to think that I was that way, but maybe that was the case, you know what I mean? And me being a person and growing and becoming more mature, like, those are the lessons you gotta learn if you want to be a part of an organization. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
It's so important to have a function, like an organization that functions well. So I think that's my part. I think I definitely take the learning out of.
Yeah, and I think, to be fair to you, like, agree with you. You played a part in it, but the people in positions of power, they're the ones that are old and experienced. So they should be aware of that and converse with you. SJ, bro, you're being a bit entitled here, or whatever it was, whatever, you know what I mean? Yeah. It's actually, that's what their job is.
Yeah.
And they're not 26, 27 years old. They're 45, 50, 60. So they've got the life experience to see these things and be like, we need to speak to him because there's a few things or whatever.
We're just not liking right now. You know what I mean? And that's, again, that's all it would have taken.
Yeah.
And again, if that article didn't come out and they pulled me aside and said, look, between us, at this stage, we're not going to re-sign you, then I'd probably I would have played out my last year there. You know what I mean? It was more just how it was put out to everyone. And I just felt, I did really feel disrespected. I was like, man, like, I've been a player at this club that's never put myself out in the, or put the club through turmoil, or, I've always respected the Warriors as a brand. Like, and I always went to them and was really transparent when I had negotiations, you know what I mean? Like, and that's what my manager was feeling too. He was like, man, like,
we've been so good for so long.
We've been, you know what I mean? So that was us two sort of going down that path. But man, overall, like, a blessing in disguise, you know what I mean? Like,
absolutely, I think so.
A blessing in disguise, bro.
Because if you stayed at the Warriors, you would have never gotten the opportunity to kind of spread your own wings and do your own thing as yourself.
Yeah.
I think coming to the Sharks and to Sydney, you've had an opportunity to be like, first of all, everything bad that whatever happened to the Warriors wasn't just my fault, clearly, but also, like, I am my own man that can do my own thing. And I think you've kind of proven that at the Sharks. Yeah.
Well, I hope so. Like, I've got a huge amount of respect and love for the Warriors still, but that's in the past, right? Like, that was an awesome time of my life, an awesome time of my career. Then when this happened and I come over here and it's like a breath of fresh air, you know what I mean? It's like you got to, well, people know that are listening to this. You've been in a job for X amount of years and you get a new opportunity to go earn somewhere that's going to provide you a guaranteed longer security.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Let's talk about the accountant again. You know what I mean? His firm tells him, mate, after next year, you're not wanted here anymore.
Yeah.
Another firm comes and says, mate, we'll take you right now and we'll give you 3-4 years.
Yep.
He's going, hello, like, thank you, bro. Like, you've shown faith in me, I'm coming.
Absolutely.
So that's sort of what that vibe was. And then I get here, obviously mixing and mingling with the boys, working with players that I'd played against for so many years and admired.
Yep.
Seeing how they approach the game, seeing how they think about the game. Just so refreshing, man. And 2019 took me a little bit to get going, to get settled. I moved over actually on my own for the first 6 months.
Yeah, tough.
It was really tough because I'm such a... Bro, I used to get homesick when I used to go to school camp and shit on that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's a bigger move than people appreciate.
It is. So it took me a little while to find my feet, but man, once I found them, I just love the environment and I love the culture and the group, you know?
And what was it like, your first year, you come seventh, you make the finals. The next year, you make the finals again. Is it really like rewarding to be back in the finals footy?
It is. It is a bit of both. So yeah, playing finals again. So amazing. You know, like you work so hard to give yourself just a shot at doing something special at the end of the year.
Yeah.
Fell short in 19. Disappointing. Last year was the one that hurt me because obviously with my Achilles, we secured a final spot with 2 or 3 rounds to play. And then that's when I busted my Achilles. So after having your COVID break and training on your own and keeping yourself ready and all that, to get to that point of the season being like, boys, we're in the finals again, let's go. And playing the footy that we were playing the footy and how I was feeling within my game, I was really excited to see what we could do in finals. So that one was probably the one that kicked me in the teeth a little bit more.
Mate, I mean, the good thing is you're building quite nicely. At the club now. Going forward, it's not, again, you're not in a position where you're fighting 10th, 11th, or whatever. You genuinely can make that finals. And push into and challenge some of the better teams. Okay, so this next year, what's the kind of, you come back around 11, 12-ish?
Yeah, I'm hoping, bro. I'm actually hoping a little sooner, eh?
Yeah, okay.
Round 10, round 8, 9.
Yep.
I mean, like I've been out for that long now. I'm not going to do anything stupid to try to rush it back.
Yeah, no way, no way.
And lovely thing about that is the club hasn't put any pressure on me too. You know,
that's massive. They've
backed the playing group. Moyes has trained the house down. He's going really well. So there's just no, you know what I mean? Like just let the boys do their work. They're going to be fine, and then I can hopefully come back and add something. So it's a nice feeling just to be able to know that you can get through your work and then come back when you're ready.
Absolutely. That's one thing. Like I think they're getting better at it with science and everything like that. When I was coming through, you were just constantly pressured to come back. Like just, you know, harden up, you know, it's only pain and rah, and you're like, bruh, I've got a broken rib. I'm fucked. Okay, so I ask all the boys this. I've taken way too much of your time up. I apologise, bro.
How are you going to cut this bad boy down to?
No, this is the whole thing, bros. People love it. Trust me. This has been fantastic. I promise you. This has been fantastic. Matty's loving it over there. I can tell. Favorite rapper of all time?
Oh, favorite rapper. I'd probably. Top of my head, I'd have to go probably Drake.
Drizzy.
Yeah. I mean, like I love like Puck and Biggie and that, but I'm more influenced by Drake, so I'd probably just go Drake. Yeah, you know, got more bangers, like to me.
Yeah, well, Drake initially, I was like, he's more of a pop star. I don't really see him as a rapper, but he's earned my respect because he doesn't miss.
Yeah, he doesn't.
He doesn't miss, bro. King, Fucking hell. I don't know, like.
To be fair, I'm not like you know, like that way, massively cultured that way. So people might say, "Oh, Drake's not even a real rapper," but I'm like, that's fine. Like to me, he is.
Yeah, like, exactly. Yeah, no, you're not like a hip hop head.
I'm not like I'm not like a music guru, but to me, someone asked me, I'd say Drake because I hear some of his raps. I'm like, wow.
Yeah. Drizzy's up there. Okay, favorite movie of all time.
Oh, how do I split them? I've got a couple that come to mind.
Okay, couple. Give us a couple.
Training Day?
Yeah.
Denzel.
100%.
Like, obviously. And then I love Pearl Harbor.
Pearl Harbor?
Pearl Harbor, bro, because
the romance
my brother, I just got real fond memories when my brother can like reenact like scenes out of it, like funny, like so like Pearl Harbor, bro.
Yeah, okay.
Like when they're playing chicken in the planes and that. Anyway, all right, don't freeze on me now. You want to play a bit of chicken? Like, and that's goat scene.
Okay, goat scene. And favorite Kiwi player of all time.
Oh, don't do that to me, bro. I can't go past
Stacey.
Yeah.
Wow. The little general.
He's just the first. He's the first of, you know, to me, he was the first. Obviously, there's like a lot of the little nippy Gary Freemans, halfbacks and that. But for me, I first laid eyes on rugby league and the Warriors. It was Stacey Jones. And that's probably why I'm biased that way.
Yeah.
I think Benji.
Yeah.
I think what Benji's done to the game, he transformed it, bro.
100%.
He got kids in the backyard calling his name, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So those two to me.
Those two
to me, bro.
Right, thank you so much for coming on the podcast. Remember, guys, Purity Plant Protein. Make sure you go grab some. Next time you see me, I'm going to be shredded out of my mind.
Oh, bro.
I'm honestly going to be a 9 out of 10.
And bro, thank you very much for having me too, guys.
Thanks, bro.
It's been an absolute pleasure.
Boom.